Hi, my name is Mr. D, and today I want to take a look at multiplying fractions. So we have simplify the following expressions, and we're going to start with question 1. This is the easiest case that I want to look at first. If we had to come up with a simple method for multiplying fractions, you want to multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. What that means is if we start here, notice in the numerators we have 3 and 5. So since we're multiplying, we're going to do 3 times 5 over, and in the denominator we have 7 and 8, so we're going to multiply 7 times 8. From this step here, 3 times 5 is 15, over 7 times 8 is 56. So for the first question we have our answer, 15 over 56. Remember, multiply the numbers across the top, the numerators, multiply the numbers across the bottom, the denominators, and you write your final answer. But one thing you should always do, because it's bad news if you don't, you want to make sure your fraction's simplified. And what we mean is they have no common factors. So if we looked at 15 and 56, the prime factorization of 15 is 5 times 3. Those are our prime factors. If we broke down 56, 7 times 8, and then we have 4 times 2, and then this simplifies to 2 times 2. So the prime factors are 7 times 2 times 2 times 2. Notice between these two they have no common factors. The only factors of 56 are powers of 2 and 7, and for 15, 3 and 5. So they have nothing in common, so we're done at 15 over 56. When we move over to this example, we're going to do it the long way first, and I'm going to show you the easy way. The easy way is going to save you a lot of headaches. So we've got 4 times 5 in the numerator is 20, over 5 times 9 is 45. This is not simplified. So what we need to do is eliminate the common factors. So if we look at 20 over 45, they both have a common factor of 5. So if we divide the top, the numerator, by 5, we have to divide the denominator by 5 as well, which simplifies to 4 over 9. The only factors of 4 other than 1 in itself are 2. The only factors of 9 other than 1 in itself are 3. So these have no more common factors. This is as simplified as it gets. But there is a much easier way. With fractions, when you multiply, when they're written in a string like this, before you multiply, you could simplify the fractions. Notice we can't reduce 4/5 or 5/9, but notice between the numerator and denominator, we have 5 over 5. And if you think about it, 5 divided by 5 equals 1. Or look at another example, 1007 divided by 1007 equals 1. Why are we able to do this so fast? Because any number divided by itself, other than 0, is equal to 1. So we use this concept to cancel out common factors before we multiply. So notice we could cross out the 5's because they're common factors, and we could replace them with 1. Because 5 divided by 5 equals 1. Now we follow the same steps. Multiply the numerators. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 9 is 9. We get the same exact answer either way, but this way is 1,000 times easier. So we're going to use this new shortcut for an example that's way crazier, because it doesn't make sense to multiply these giant numbers across and across the bottom and then simplify. We want to simplify first, then we're going to multiply. So notice 7/9 can simplify, 18 over 5 can simplify, 15 over 21 can, but we're going to kind of cross simplify like we saw in this example. Notice here that 18 and 9 kind of pair up. If we wrote that as a fraction, 18 over 9, 18 divided by 9 is equal to 2, or we could call it 2 over 1 like this. So when we see 18 over 9, we could simplify. 18 divided by 9 is 2, so we have 2 over 1 here like that. So notice we cross out the 18 and the 9 because 18 divided by 9 is 2. We have 2 over 1 here like this. Notice these two we could pair up now. We have 15 and 5, and 15 over 5, or 15 divided by 5 is 3. So 15 over 5 we could write as 3, and we could write it as 3 over 1 as well. So now we go to 15 and 5, we cross them out. The 15 we replace with a 3, the 5 we replace with the 1. It's like we're saying, alright, divide the top and bottom by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3, 5 divided by 5 is 1. And now we're going to do the same thing with the last pair, 7 and 21. 7 over 21, if we divide the numerator by 7, we get 1. If we divide the denominator by 7, we get 3. So we could cross out 7 and 21. 7 we're going to replace with 1. 21 we're going to replace with 3. Once again, 7 divided by 7 is 1. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So reducing fractions is a really important concept. It makes multiplying fractions way easier. So now that we have everything simplified, we go over to our monster problem, and we're going to multiply the numerators and denominators. So now we close this off. In the numerator we have 1 times 2 times 3 is 6. In the denominator we have 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 3 is 3. And we're left with 6 divided by 3. 6 over 3 reduces to 2. So our final answer here is going to be 2. Notice this is a little bit of an extra detail, but if we wanted to apply the trick once again, notice the numerator and denominator are both sharing a common factor of 3. So we could have crossed off those 3's, and we would have been left with 1 times 2 is 2, over 1 times 1 is 1, 2 divided by 1 is still 2. So this concept of reducing before you multiply is really helpful because in example 1, it's very easy. Multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator, but chances are your teacher is going to give you something crazy. So try to reduce, then multiply. It'll make everything easier. Okay, this is going to conclude this video on multiplying fractions. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that this was helpful.